This podcast discusses paranormal activity and other topics some might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Is it a chill or a ghostly breeze? A knock, a tap, what do you believe? Ghosts, gossip, gather around, where the lost and the haunted are found. Ghosts, gossip, don't make a sound. Truth or tales, we'll dig it out.
Okay, how are we now?
I'm good. How are you?
Claustrophobic? I feel claustrophobic.
Well, it's just a matter of getting used to it.
Well, we got to figure out a better setup for recording. Look, your head blocks the naked lady's butt. Hello, everybody, and this is Ashley. I'm your host of Ghost Gossip, and we are doing something new today. I've had multiple people tell me that I need to try to do more video on YouTube.
So here we are.
Here we are, doing the best I can. If I look ratchet, listen, I about jumped a woman at the Home Depot this morning, okay, because she was completely rude to my husband, and I am my husband's protector, believe it or not.
Crotchety and just...
She was rude.
She was rude.
She was rude, and she was like just taking her sweet old time, and I mean, just talking to him like he's a dum-dum, and I'm like... That's my job.
Yeah, it was the wow.
No, I kid. But seriously, you know, it's like when you have an issue with your own sibling and you talk crap about your sibling and then somebody else talks crap and you're ready to throw down.
Yeah, nobody else could. It was the tone she took with me. Like
The
I was
tone.
I was trying to find the cheapest paint because I'm painting in the garage and it really doesn't matter. So I found a $18 can of paint.
Right.
And told her the color I wanted. And
You would have thought you asked her for a unicorn based paint that produces gold and silver while it paints on the wall.
Yeah, I mean,
She was completely
out of line.
And so I walk up and I'm like listening. I'm trying, guys, I'm a pit bull, okay? And I can go 0 to 60 real fast if my family's being messed with. And kids, husband, animals, that usually is where it falls. So I'm trying to maintain my composure, right?
Yeah, and I'm just standing there like,
What's
the
the
hell?
problem,
Like,
right?
What the hell?
No, so I'm sitting there trying to maintain my composure. He just wants paint. He brought the lady this paint because he was trying to be helpful. It was the wrong paint. Okay, he just grabbed one.
I just grabbed literally the cheapest one.
Because it's garage paint. He didn't want to spend a bunch of money on paint that's going in the garage. So literally he's just picked one and went. And instead of her saying, well, this probably is not going to work, she just mumbles and is rude and is short.
What she said was, I don't have a base for that color. And I just responded, what base do I need? And her response was, because I asked her, I said, well, what's a normal base? Well, there's not a normal base. And because Ashley's like, I'm walking away.
I'm going to hardware before I body slam this woman.
Which would have probably completely broken her. She was in bad physical health, you could tell. She'd been tied in a knot.
She did look like, yeah. And I know she's older, and I'm trying to be patient with older people. I have parents. I have grandparents.
But you don't have to be rude.
She was being rude, and that's the issue. If she needed help, you would have happily helped her pick up the paint.
Yeah.
You probably would have swept the floor for her if she asked you to.
For sure.
I had to walk away. So what are we doing today? Do you know?
I don't, and I've been afraid to ask because I feel like you've probably told me.
I have told you.
Okay. You probably told me more than once.
I have told you more than once.
Yep. Okay. I was right.
Yes. So we're doing listener tales. I think we have multiple stories.
Of listener happenings.
Listener happenings episode. Okay.
Wow. That was a lot.
All right. So let me get to my first one. You know, I love listener episodes. Daniel never reads these like beforehand. He never sees them. I don't even talk to him about them. I just read them to him.
I don't even remember that she tells me we're doing one of these episodes.
Very, very fair.
super shocked is what I'm going for. Like super ignorant on these.
Okay. So this first one is my sleep paralysis. And you know, sleep paralysis hits home for me because of what I've dealt with.
So we're not talking about yours. We're
Nope.
talking about somebody else's.
It is the story.
Okay.
So he wasn't sure if he wanted me to use his name. He's like, oh, it's a really generic name. So I'm not going to use his name. He didn't seem confident in his response.
Sure.
He's like, you can read him, my name. So we're going to call him Adam.
Okay.
Okay. That's not his name, but we're going to call him Adam for today. Hi, Ashley. Our mutual friend and my coworker has recently got me hooked on your podcast. Happy birthday, by the way. Chris Ann, happy birthday, babe. You won't hear this on your birthday, but today is your birthday.
Happy birthday. Do you want me to sing?
Yes, let's do it. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday, dear Chris Ann.
Chris Ann. Happy
birthday to you.
I forgot who we were singing it to.
Chris Ann.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Chris Ann. I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay.
Absolutely.
So Chris Ann got Adam hooked on my podcast. Hooked. Like
Set the hook on him.
like a bass fish.
Now he's been reeled in.
He's reeled in.
We've landed Adam, a.k.a. Adam.
And I sent her and Adam a sticker.
Awesome.
Yes.
Love the stickers. And you're going to be coming out with more shortly.
Shortly, we're going to have more stickers. So,
I'm going to have my own sticker.
yes, if y'all want a sticker, email me and send me your address. I promise I'm not a stalker. I don't have that much energy.
I feel important that I have my own sticker.
I made it for you, honey. Okay, so Chris Ann recently got Adam hooked on the podcast. She knows I'm interested in the paranormal, and we have shared some spooky stories. Hi. After having another one of our paranormal experience discussions, she has implored me to write to you with my sleep paralysis experiences. Adam, it's because I begged her, okay? I begged. I was like, please get him to send me these because I love sleep paralysis stories because of my experiences with sleep paralysis.
Adam, I like the use of the word implore.
I knew that was coming. I was about to say, Daniel likes the word. I should have said it.
I do.
I am not the most eloquent writer, but here it goes. I have always had sleep issues, even as an infant. I have always notoriously been a night owl. I like to say my natural sleep rhythm is to go to bed around 2 a.m. and wake up around 10 a.m. Even as a young child, this was the case. Life doesn't work on that time frame, but without alarms and kids forcing me to adjust, my body will always try to sleep on this rhythm. I'm not sure that this info has a point except to say I have always had sleep issues, and my sleep paralysis experience has only made it worse. My first memories of having issues with sleep paralysis began when I was 9 years old. This was in the mid-90s. I am almost 40 now. Same, brother.
Welcome to the well.
Well, we're older.
I'm in the club.
I am too. So before the internet and the horror movie genre boom, I was not interested in horror or other things that go bump in the night. So I had no prior conceptions of ghost, paranormal, etc. Anyways, at the point things started for me, we had been living in a newly built house for about a year. I do not exactly recall the first time sleep paralysis happened, but I can say that for that span of 4 years we lived there, I was experiencing this every night.
Wow.
Oh, moly.
How long was he experiencing this?
4 years.
Every night?
Once they moved into that brand new house.
That's miserable.
That is, as somebody who has had it 4 times, that's miserable. That's horrible.
I'm curious, did he get used to it? Did he adapt to it?
We'll get there. I was 9 to 13 years old. I had no idea what any of this was until I did some research in my later high school years when high-speed internet became a thing. My paralysis has slowly become less and less frequent, but it still happens somewhere between 5 and 10 times a year. That's still a lot.
Man, it's every other month.
My mom will blame the house for being haunted, in particular my room. And while that interests me, I have come to think it's just a brain issue and not paranormal. I emailed him back and I was like, I'm with your mother. I'm with mom on this one.
I mean, it could be a neurological thing.
It could be both. And we talked about that. We did talk about it, but let's move on. And I'll tell you why that I don't think all of it was just a brain issue. To describe how it feels to me when it happens, I first get a funny tingle in my toes and then my fingers, and it quickly spreads up my body. Once the whole tingling feeling reaches my chest, the sounds of rushing wind starts.
That's oddly specific.
Because without a doubt, this has always been 100% ominous and dark for me. So now, if I feel the tingle start and I recognize it, my sole force and strength goes on to bending one of my pinky fingers. Because since I am paralyzed, I cannot move or yell out. Only my eyes seem to work. Sometimes, if I cannot move that finger fast enough, I add an attempt at yelling to give it more oomph. But once I can move my finger, I come out of it. The feeling recedes back down and out of my toes, and I am awake and moving. Afterwards, it's hard to try and get back to sleep, so usually I don't. An added bonus, as I have gotten older and heavier, is snapping out of it and gasping for breath. So I think there is now a sleep apnea added component, which is more frightening to me now than the things I feel or see, because now I imagine that this is the feeling people have just before or as they are suffocating to death. So that's how it is for my body. And the only control I have is to try to move to come out of it. What I see or feel is not something I have ever been able to control. And as a child, I would sleep on my belly with the covers over my head, just enough of an opening to breathe fresh, cold air, because what I would see was too frightening for me. And I was almost always slept with the light on, even now, because of the ominous feeling. I will still sleep with my bedside light on, and that drives my wife nuts. But now I will get into what I feel and see in the room. I would never say I have been spiritually in tune or sensitive, but I got the feeling that there was a presence in the room in that house, and it always felt like a soldier standing at attention watching over me. Eventually, I came to see him during my episodes, and he looked like a soldier in a revolutionary garb. He liked to watch over me in my room from between the bed and the bookshelf, but I would feel the soldier's presence even before the paralysis episodes began. My mom swore she would hear heavy footsteps up the stairs and then my bookshelf crashing down during the day while we were at school and she was home alone. But when she would go check, the bookshelf would be just fine. So she swears my room and the house were haunted. But when my experiences began, this presence would become more prevalent. And sometimes during paralysis, I would see him. He was not always a dark feeling, but occasionally he would grab me by my ankles during paralysis.
Don't mess with my ankles.
And as a kid, that is extremely terrifying.
Yeah.
Looking back, even in writing this, I wonder if he was telling me to get out of there as a way of trying to protect me. Because when I would snap out of the sleep paralysis, I would move to the guest room across the hall and be able to sleep without any experiences. And protection from the other thing I would see and feel was definitely needed. This is the part of the paralysis story that, as I have done research, sounds fairly similar to other folks' experiences. But I did not know any of this when it was happening to me. The presence I felt started as very ominous, dark feeling, and then as a shadow, a black mass that started gathering and growing in the top corner of my room above the door. It was liquidy, but also seemed like flowing strands of cloth. Like it was a moving black cloth in like a gel or underwater. I know exactly what he's talking about. I can see it in my head. It's unnerving.
Yeah, I'm imagining like the Venom suit.
The what?
The Venom suit from Spider-Man?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
And it would grow and move from the corner down and towards me. And eventually I began seeing a face in the flowing mass. I am speaking in past tense because while I have felt this thing since, I have prevented myself from seeing it for a long time. The face was an extremely old and wrinkled woman. She works at Home Depot now.
Yeah, short red hair.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Not burned like Freddy Krueger, but wrinkled so much it had a similar look to it. And her gray, scraggly hair would flow with the black mass. Again, like it was underwater. Years later, in the early 2000s, there was a movie release, and it hit the nail pretty much on the head from what I would see. It was called Darkness Falls, and the monster was the Tooth Fairy. But when you finally see the face and hair with the black underwater flowy mass of a body, it was pretty darn close to the thing I would see. So that's the best visual I could give. This thing is extremely dark and terrifying. Eventually, like I said, I would prevent myself from seeing it, but I could always feel it. It would grab my ankles, but it was different. While the soldier felt like hands, this thing felt like eels wrapping around me. And always I would try to move my pinky, and once I did, poof, all gone. The ominous feeling was still there, but similar, but nothing touching me and nothing to be seen. I think this is similar to other sleep paralysis accounts of the old hag. This thing has been a constant with my paralysis. Some people say they get sat on or whatever, but there has never been a similar sensation to me. The wrap on my legs is the furthest it has ever gotten for me. Oh, this poor guy, man.
Yeah, that is quite ominous.
That's when he was 9 to 13 years old.
Yeah, that's trauma.
I was an adult dealing with this thing, and it was petrifying. I can't imagine being 9 to 13.
Yeah, what do you do with that as a kid?
You roll over, cover your head, and hope for the best, and hope there's a little soldier in the corner protecting you, I guess. Golly. I haven't felt the touch in a long time, but the presence for sure. I can recognize the feeling coming on better than it used to and snap out of it way faster. So it never gets that far anymore. Once we moved from the house, I stopped seeing the soldier. The paralysis experiences still happen, but not nightly. When we moved, I was heading into high school and was old enough to start regularly taking over-the-counter sleep aids like Benadryl or Tylenol PM. Anything to knock me out fast, keep me asleep, and help prevent me from dreaming. I did not figure out the dreaming part until I was in my late 20s. But that is the key to limiting these experiences, which is why I think it is more of a brain disorder than paranormal. When I lived alone later in college days, I got it pretty bad again. But I went to the doctor and got on a sleep medication. I would go on and off the medication for a while, but now I stay on it. It helps me not dream and just stay asleep. The experiences still happen with my wife in the bed next to me, but much less frequently since we started living together almost 15 years ago. Being extremely stressed or anxious can increase paralysis episodes as well, but the medication does help me. I do think that this is a mental struggle and not a ghost struggle. But my experiences really are what got me interested more into the paranormal, and now I enjoy the media on it. Podcasts, documentaries, TV shows, movies, and then going to supposedly haunted places. My oldest daughter has gotten into it with me, and when we did a weekend at the Crescent Hotel, we did a ghost hunt.
Love that.
Yes.
Love the Crescent.
Such a wonderful place. I hope to go back in February. We bought a spirit box and an EMF reader to assist our hunt, and while nothing strange happened at the hotel, in testing the equipment at our house, we had a few mild experiences. Nothing major, but intriguing all at the same. Anyways, that's my sleep paralysis story. I know on your episode named Sleep Paralysis, your husband Daniel likens it to a possibly hallucinogenic thank you, trip that you might have control over. And while I do typically like his view on a lot of this type of stuff, my experience is not that. To me, I see it as a dreaming while awake. It is like a drug-induced hallucinogenic trip for me, and there's no control over what's going on around you. And it always feels dark, never happy. Ending on a bummer note, but that's my story. Thank you for taking the time to read. If you have any questions, let me know. Adam. Okay, first of all, I'm shocked he takes Benadryl to sleep because the Benadryl has been linked to sites of the Hat Man. So that surprises me because when I take his sleep issues sound a lot like mine.
Yeah, I mean, just sleep issues in general, I think they're somewhat similar.
Yeah, so I do agree with you that I think that there is something to say about some kind of sleep disorder that can affect sleep paralysis and actually cause sleep paralysis. However, now Adam and I talked about this because I'm trying to work on my feelings and my intuition and stuff. I told him that I felt like the soldier possibly died in that area protecting somebody, maybe somebody younger, or trying to protect some. I just got chills all over. So I think that the soldier there was very much paranormal and he was looking after Adam.
Where does Adam live?
He is in.
Okay.
But
the original.
But I don't know where the original house was. I didn't ask that. But it would make sense to me that because he doesn't see the soldier anymore, that the soldier was very much paranormal and protecting Adam.
And localized.
Yes, very local to where he was. But now he's older and now he's having a very typical sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis has been linked to sleeping disorders such as insomnia and sleep apnea. Also, get your sleep apnea checked if you haven't because it can cause heart attacks. And I stay on him. So now, Adam, if you haven't already,
go get a sleep study.
Go get a sleep study. Seriously. Every time you struggle with stopping breathing, you shorten your life. So unless that is your goal, go get checked out. Okay. Did the same thing with him. Okay. Thank you for sending that. Now I think he has mixed feelings about the paranormal. I do think that his mother is correct about his bedroom. I think there was something going on with his bedroom.
I guess what leads me to believe that it is possibly something more neurological is because of the length of time that it has gone on.
Yeah. And I can understand that. Like, I respect that. I do. However, the soldier is something unique to his experience. That's why I think that specific is the paranormal, other than just a brain disorder.
So I don't know if the listeners know, but I have epilepsy.
No, they know that you have a health condition. I don't think I've ever put a label on it.
Okay.
Because of your privacy. I didn't want to do it.
So I used to be very self-conscious about having epilepsy.
He was, yeah.
So kind of, I guess just as I've gotten older or I've talked to more people, it's not uncommon.
Everybody I meet has a family member with it.
So,
or has had a seizure themselves.
so there's different things that can trigger it. So whatever Adam's neurological disorder may be, if that's what's going on, there could be things that trigger it. Like he mentioned, stress, anxiety, a lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep will
So
do
if
it.
So if he's not sleeping for long periods of time, it's almost like a vicious cycle that it perpetuates itself.
What's so funny is he mentioned that medications prevent him from dreaming. Medications do not prevent me from dreaming.
But my medicine keeps me from rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So
Okay. It's true. He needs to take his medicine. All right.
either way, I wish nothing but good things for Adam, because that sounds incredibly hard to deal with, especially since he's having to deal with this so long. So
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think that is a two-part. I think that, yes, I think there is a paranormal aspect, but I also think that he needs a sleep study.
yeah, I mean,
I'm not a doctor. Go get checked out.
I mean, I would even suggest going and seeing a neurologist. I mean, I think that could be.
And maybe he has. Maybe
he has.
Maybe he has by this point.
But yeah,
All right, next story.
say that.
Do you remember Jen's story on the last listener happenings? The cardboard boxes in the basement and the footsteps of her daughter running across the kitchen floor in the middle of the night.
Yes.
So Jen's daughter's Chelsea, and Chelsea has a story, and Chelsea sent it to me. So this
Hello,
one's from
Chelsea.
Chelsea, and she did give me permission to use her name. She said, "Of course you can use my name." So that's how I read it. Of course you can use my name. Hi, Ashley.
Oh, hold on. Can I read one today?
Did you hear the knock?
Mm-hmm.
That knock said no. Did y'all hear the knock? This is where everything's been knocking.
I thought it said good idea. That's how I took it.
Maybe it's a good idea.
She doesn't want me to read it.
I don't, and I'll tell you why.
Don't tell me why. It's probably going to hurt my feelings.
It's not going to hurt your feelings. I think that next time, that way we can write it out. The reason not this one is because it's directed to me. The next one, the last one, is because she sent it in about 12 different messages on Instagram.
Okay.
And it might be two.
Holy
Next
pouting.
time, will somebody please send a listener happenings just for Daniel to read?
Yes, please.
Okay. Somebody do it. I'll send one.
No, you're not a listener.
I beg to differ. I listen so many times.
You're not.
You know who is not the listener in this relationship? It's you. Y'all, do you realize he doesn't listen to this podcast?
I got nothing.
Yep, he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to his wife's podcast. Tell me I'm not a listener. That's the pot calling the kettle black, and I listen. I have to listen to this 5 times. Okay. Hi, Ashley. I am Jen's daughter, Chelsea, who was also... You were on the Disney cruise with us. I don't think I met Chelsea. Was also on that cruise with your amazing mom. I have a wreath from her in my son's room. She gifted to me when he was born.
Bubby loves the wreath.
I just got one the other day.
The
I love
Halloween
them.
one, it's great.
The kids actually call my mom Bubby too. Oh, I love
That's
that. That cruise was such an impact on my life and continues to do so. My mama shared her stories with you about my baby ghostly friend, and I thought it was time I send my story with my own child too. My granny, my mom's mom, always said what she meant and meant what she said. I love that. I was 18 when she passed away, and about 25 at the... Did you just point at me? I was 18 when she passed away, and about 25 at the time of this story. My son would have been about 3 at the time, meaning they never met on this earthly plane. My granny has come to me in dreams with messages for my mom, or sends us virtual signs, jewelry falling off, the smell of her perfume. But this occurrence was definitely more sassy. Oh, I love that. She loved to take her dentures out for babies thinking they thought it was fun, like peekaboo. Mind you, I'm a dental hygienist, so teeth don't bother me. We would all tease her and tell her to knock it off and find a normal way to play with the babies.
Stop giving the baby your dentures. It's weird.
I can imagine it's like this.
Shaking the spit out.
No, I think she was just like spitting them out and then sucking them back in her mouth.
Oh, gross.
It's kind of how I imagine that. I don't think she was literally handing her teeth to the baby, but maybe she was. I don't know. Fast forward to the time where my son is about 3 years old and he comes to join me in my room after he had been in his room for a bit. He's an independent kid and would often go and do his own thing while I was tending to his little sister. So I said, "Hey, buddy, what were you doing in your room?" Thinking he would tell me he was playing with his dinos or something, he said, "Oh, nothing, just playing with Granny. She's funny. She was taking her teeth out for me."
How would he know that?
That is oddly specific.
Yes.
Can I just tell you, I almost fell over. I had to have stopped breathing for a second. We are a very witchy family, but the personalized message this woman sent to me through my own child once the shock wore off. I immediately FaceTimed my mom and instructed my son to tell her the story so I could watch her have the same reaction. Thanks for reading, love the show, and supporting our amazing Disney family. You can, of course, use my name too.
Love that.
I love that.
You know,
God.
it reminded me of my grandma, Nanny.
I never met her.
No, you never met her. She was
I didn't know he was staring at me. I'm trying to find my next story.
She was a wonderful lady, sassy.
Yeah.
And I remember
Which nanny was this?
my dad's mom.
Freddie?
Yes, Freddie.
Freddie
Fred-
hung out with us a lot at the other house.
Freddie Ann. So when I was going through one of the most difficult times, I used to kind of give a backstory. One of the ways me and my nanny would bond was over baseball. So I would go over to her house and we would watch baseball games. Diehard baseball fan, loved the Atlanta Braves. Grandfather was a textile league baseball player. It was really good. So I hadn't watched baseball on TV in a while. And I turn on the TV. I'm a Braves fan. Turn on the game. And who is up to bat? Freddie Freeman.
Freddie.
And it just I almost started crying. And I said, "Hey, Nanny."
Mm-hmm.
And
Which is odd because you're not super spiritual.
And she went through a lot of heartache, trauma. And so it was like she was telling me, "I've had the strength to do this. It runs in the family. You've got the strength to get through this."
Yeah.
So.
One thing that y'all don't know about us is Daniel and I had really traumatic marriages prior to each other. And we try to not be traumatic to each other because of what we went through with our ex-spouses. And my grandparents have been very present in my life, especially when I was going through my first marriage, which was very abusive. And when he was going through his divorce, he was single dad, had 2 kids, 13 months apart. Like it was a lot, and he was doing it alone. Yeah. She was letting him know he was okay.
Full-time job.
Full-time school.
Two part-time jobs and school, full-time online and some in person. So
yeah.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. Okay. So this last one is from Night Vision. It's the Night Vision Files. They follow me and we follow each other on Instagram. Super nice lady.
I was wondering if it was like a group, if it was an individual.
Well, the woman that is messaging me, I know is an individual. I don't know if she has a group, but her handle is Night Vision Files on Instagram.
Okay.
And she sent me this story yesterday while we were cleaning the floors, and I just had to read it. I wanted 3 stories. I had 3 stories today. So here's the last story, and we're going to wrap it up. There's a place called Kill Devil's Hill, North Carolina.
Been through there.
Not far from Jockey Ridge State Park, tallest sand dunes in the east. Across from that is an iconic scene looking down from the top of the dune to the row of colorful oceanfront homes. Not far from that view is an oceanfront home we stayed in. It was the first of the week of June. We arrived to host our son's friends for their senior trip after graduation. My husband and I took the top main floor as the boys took the mid and lower floors. Everyone experienced something. So the first night, nothing, probably because, well, we were exhausted from all the driving. The second day came the whispers down the stairs when everyone was upstairs eating breakfast. It was strange. It sounded like girls whispering. Then we let the boys head out to the beach, and I, along with my husband, unpacked, and we went shopping. But before we made it down the stairs, we heard doors sliding and closing, yet we watched the boys head out. You could see them from the beach. We quickly went room to room, making sure there was no burglar. Nothing. It was all locked up. The boys had a key code, and they had locked the sliding door. So we shook that off and left to go shopping. Later that night, the boys were out on the beach as my husband and I watched TV. We heard the door sliding again, then the pool table, then girls talking and giggling. Full conversations were happening. My husband and I thought the boys brought back some girls. So we hear our son come in the sliding door because we had heard him talking outside, approaching. He was yelling back to his friends on the beach. I will pause here to explain. We didn't want anyone bringing anyone back, including girls or new strangers. So we called our son to come upstairs to lecture him and have a talk to his friends. Well, when he came up, he asked what was up. He sat down exhausted, and we asked, "Did your friends bring girls back to the billiards room?" "No," was his answer. And he was like, "Why?" We explained what we heard. He looked bewildered, kind of freaked out. He explained to us the boys were on the beach now, that he was the only one that had come back, and there were no girls, just them. He then started to show us his phone pictures and video. They were busy chasing crabs and running and being boys and simply joyful kids on the beach at night. My husband and I looked at each other and were a little chilled by it. Then my son explained that one of his friends that was staying on the ground level keeps hearing a child laughing at the foot of his bed. We tried to chuckle it off like the walls down there might be bouncing sound around the windows near a public walk. My son replied, "No, not at 3 a.m. in the morning. Who's walking a giggling child that late at night?" Fair question. We laughed it off, tried to move on, and not give it more thought. The Atlantic Graveyard is right outside the beach house and all around. So many historical shipwrecks, hurricanes, and many folklore. So the rest of the boys came inside and we headed off to bed, even the boys. Then my husband and I woke up to strange music playing. We had no idea where it was coming from. We walked out into the dark living room and the TV was on but blacked out and a song was playing. We had turned that TV off before. Now, once more, we went back to bed. My husband fell asleep first, and I tried to fall asleep but felt unsettled. As I was laying there, I felt hands patting the sheets between my knees. Like it was playful, but annoying. I didn't like it. The sheets were going down and touching the bed. I had the sheet tight around both sides, so it was a force. I sat up, looked around, and then prayed for everyone to be protected. I felt peace, and then I was able to fall back to sleep. Then I heard whispers in the kitchen, and I prayed again, and then I fell asleep. The next morning, one of the boys told me he heard banging above his bed while in bed, like loud knocks and bangs above his headboard. He was a little creeped out. He was on the mid-floor. Then the two other boys, with my son, talked about giggles on the ground floor from a small child and crazy nail-biting scratches.
No.
Two boys experienced scratching at their bedroom doors, so I prayed over each one of them. Then activity stopped in the house. But outside we heard whispers, like someone was standing at the screened-in door talking to us.
That's a lot.
We even walked outside and heard nothing. On our last night, my son and his buddies headed out to the beach for one last time. And when our son came back, in his room, a mirror from his bedroom wall was completely removed and placed in the center of his bed, looking up.
No.
No one lays claim to any pranks or moving a big mirror.
Nope.
We prayed whatever it was would stay there and not follow us home. And then for another time, this would be another story. She didn't send me this one. This one's for next time. They stayed at a haunted rental, but in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. The story is juicy. I'll have to talk that one out. Oh, so again, Night Vision Files on Instagram. And she did send me a comment the other day. And let me read that one real quick. And this is what got us started. Because I was like, can I read your comment to my husband? And she's like, oh, I have so many stories. I'm like, This was about like the story that I shared on my TikTok the other day about the mimic that my friend saw and said that's the other mother. He doesn't watch any of my stuff. He has no idea.
I don't get on TikTok, but
well, it's on Instagram and YouTube as well. He's so supportive.
I do watch your stuff on Instagram. I just didn't see that one.
He is very supportive. He just supports in different ways. They're all judging you right now.
I know.
They are all judging you. They're like,
I feel incredibly judged. I'm being.
yeah, because some of these people have been with me since I started. And they're like, how does he not listen to her episodes? Disgust.
Well, I've told you, and
He don't like his voice.
and it's not an excuse, but I don't.
I don't like my voice either, but here we are. Okay. So this is also from Night Vision. This is on the TikTok and Instagram that I made about the person seeing the other mother. So I thought once I experienced a mimic before. How it happened was my husband was with me the whole entire time. It was the morning. He was not much of a talker and didn't respond to my morning banter. Sounds familiar, except it's usually your morning banter and I'm just staring at you. He was sitting in our living room watching television, and I was over in the kitchen cleaning. The kitchen and the living room share a big open space, and I got to tell him I'm going to take a nap. He didn't respond or even look up from his phone. I go and walk down our hallway into our bedroom, and there he was on the bed, on his phone, but asleep. I was so confused and a bit flustered at what just happened. I woke him up, and I asked him, how did you get there? He looked dumbfounded. He replied, I have been here all morning. It never happened again. But another year, I caught his likeness at night in an orb outside when he was asleep, and it even made me think that he was astral traveling in his sleep. Is it possible he was projecting into the living room that one day? I have the image from our night vision camera of him, and I have a photo of him, but he does not want that comparison shared online. I don't blame him.
Well, just, I don't have a twin, so if you ever see that.
Well, your daughter thinks every bald man looks like you. That guy looks like Dad. I'm like, no, it doesn't. No. Looks nothing like your father. Absolutely nothing like your father. It's so funny. I'm like, Vicky G, no, baby, it doesn't look like your daddy. That does not look like your daddy.
Not all bald men look alike, but.
She does if they're bald with a beard, but now she doesn't say it because now you got a Fu Manchu.
It's true.
Well, that's our episode.
Those are a lot of good ones.
Yeah, we had some good ones. We had a lot of good ones. I was saving Chelsea's and Adam's, and then when I got the night vision files one, I was like, okay, I got my 3. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, and they were all really detailed. I liked that about them.
They were really good. Very good. So thank y'all for listening and watching. If you're watching, hopefully this will be up and I haven't trashed it because I don't know what the sound is going to be like with us sitting so close to each other. I have no clue. I'm also using a new program, so bear with me if things sound different or off. I'm learning. There's a huge learning curve with this sounding board and a new software, a recording program. So just bear with me. Thank you for always supporting me. Thank you for always being there for me.
Just getting this set up was a learning curve.
I wanted to cry.
We got it done, though. I told you, baby.
See, he supports me in other ways. He might not listen and watch, but he supports in other ways.
Just take a breath. I got an idea. Let's try it.
Yes, it did work. It did work. It's just a little... I feel like I'm back in the fishbowl. There we go. He does it better. Follow me on TikTok, Ghost Gossip Pod. Follow me on Instagram, Ghost Gossip Podcast. Follow me on YouTube, Ghost Gossip 24/7. And I have websites. I bought domains.
You did.
Ghost Gossip Podcast and Ghost Gossip Pod are both officially my domains. There's no website there.
She owns them.
But I own them.
And make sure you listen.
I hope that's recording.
You're really enjoying yourself.
I am. Yes, this is for me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Email me your ghost gossip, ghostgossip247@gmail.com. Interact with me. And yeah, you guys, something's going on with my views on TikTok. I have my suspicions as to why. But if y'all are on TikTok, go interact with me. Share. Tell a friend. Tell your mom and them. And yeah, until next time.
Wait, you forgot.
What did I forget?
The merch.
I got merch.
Go get the merch.
Link is going to be in the bio. If you haven't seen my post about the merch, it's actually looking pretty good. So
I got my black tank top. This is not it, but I wore it yesterday.
There's clearly a white tank top.
It's more of a light beige. But anyway, yeah, that black tank top. Great. Yep. Love it.
The reason I did the skull hand like this is because that's what he does. I have pictures of him constantly, my little surfer, my little bald surfer. Maybe that should be my next march. Bald surfer.
Skeleton surfing.
Yeah, but I'm not a surfer. And this is my podcast.
Skeleton sitting on the beach.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you. We'll see you later. This is weird. Don't grab my butt.
Gossip don't make a sound.